friends. I'm Lisa Combs, and this week on Behavior Bites, we're really going to be talking about some weeks we've worked more on a specific strategy, and other times I just want to engage you about more of a philosophical or foundational concept to behavior change. And this week, that's what we're going to do, is talk more about kind of a perspective on behavior and how you influence behavior. So in one of our other sessions, we talked about the difference between power versus influence. And, the reality is that there's very few behaviors of someone else that you are able to control. Most of what you are able to control are your own behaviors. The good news is that every interaction involves two different individuals at least. And so there are different components. If you change the interaction of one, it changes the entire equation. And so you can always look in terms of what is my part in this interaction and how can I influence it? And so today's question is where is the value? So when people interact for whatever reason, they're giving their focus and engagement to things that have value to them. And it may or may not be things that have value for you, and it may or may not be things that you want them to value. But the reality is that people give their time, their focus, their attention, their compliance to things that they value. And so the question when you look at a student's behavior, I always like to ask, where's the value? Where is the value in that student doing what they're currently doing? And also, where is the value in them doing what you want them to do? Okay, so that really is a critical question to ask and think about and give consideration to, because if you want to influence someone to change their behavior, to change their interaction with you, to be more compliant, to do what you ask them to do, to engage and give you their focus and their attention, you have to consciously do things to bring value to those interactions, those activities, those that climate that you're creating. You need to bring the value into that so that their value is not placed elsewhere over their interactions with you, over the things that you're asking them to engage in. And so that's where you get to have a great deal of control. So I've never met a teacher that doesn't like a little bit of control. Anybody who is working with children or with students, a number of them, likes a little bit of control, and you should, because you're really responsible for the safety and the well-being and learning of a number of kids. And so that does require that you be accountable and responsible to make sure things happen as they should. And that's okay, and that's good. So what you need to say is, my best way to control my climate, control my environment, control the behavior in my class is to keep the value with me, making sure that the kids are coming with a perception that what I'm going to do in class today is more valuable than being at home, so that I don't want to get suspended. It's about making the activity more engaging than messing with my neighbor and getting the attention from annoying the person sitting next to me. What I'm asking you to do has to be more valuable than your other options. And so that's really a challenge to us as educators. I remember as a student in college learning about being a teacher, one of my professors said that teaching is about 10% preparation and about 90% entertainment. And while I'm not sure I would agree with that completely, the point is well taken, that our students, they are more likely to engage with us, interact with us in positive ways, want to give us their attention and their focus if we are providing value to them in our interactions with them. And so don't set up unintended contingencies that may negatively impact their perception about where the value is. So for instance, that classic example of when you get in trouble, you're going to stay in and do a page of math problems. That's setting up a contingency that math problems are a punishment. And we don't want to set up that kind of negativity. We want to set up more of a contingency where the actual activity that we're doing has value in and of itself, so that we're not constantly feeling like we have to dangle a carrot in front of our students. A lot of teachers don't like feeling that they're constantly rewarding things that should be developing intrinsically. And the number one strategy you have to help students develop more intrinsic value for education and growth and discipline and good behavior is to make your interactions with them and your climate and your activities innately more valuable than the things that they're seeking to interact with and do currently. So give that some thought. I would love for you to have some discussion with your colleagues, or even just some reflection yourself about how you could take action to make your interactions with a student have intrinsic value. And it might be something as simple as the way you greet students when they come in. It might be as simple as class celebrations that you regularly have to celebrate milestones in learning or accomplishments. Give it some thought. It might be actually just in the way that you present your lessons, so that you're using things that are of interest and engagement to students, whether it's YouTube videos or hands-on activities. What are you doing to bring the value and keep the value with you and your interactions with those students? Because that is going to give you the influence that replaces the need for control and power. Thanks, and I hope you give that some thought this week and it stimulates some creative juices. Have a great day.